arts, lifestyle. SNS Online.
No questions for me? Am I just moving in, just moving out, just moving in? This isn't my furniture, it's junk. Got some gorgeous stuff back at my old place. Not curious about me? Why'd I leave it behind? Aren't I going back for it? Of course I'm bloody going back for it. As if the flat hadn't been firebombed.
I've been following you.
I know. Hello, my name's Louise Jameson and I'm playing Anita.
Hello, my name's Thomas Mahy and I'm playing Davey.
Vincent River's a visceral, very dark piece, not without humour. It's a play about hate crime, which is sadly on the rise, hugely, since the whole Brexit thing. Not quite sure why one has facilitated the other, but there we go. A very important play, and it's a brutal subject written in the most poetic way by Ridley. Anita is damaged and grief-stricken and complicated, and I'm not sure I'd like her if I met her in real life, but I love playing her. She's a kind of actor's dream.
Every little detail in this play is so important. Every word's meant to be there. As an actor, it's a joy to just go on stage and work in Vincent River. Davey is a young man who is incredibly terrified. He's very nervous, and when people are terrified, they are led to sort of do extraordinary things. They're very unpredictable, and they can just be very quiet one minute. You have no idea what they're thinking, and the next completely frighten you and terrify you. I think he has that. He's very scared. He's very damaged. He's very streetwise. He's smart in a way that he knows how to protect himself, he knows how to survive, and he's doing that as best as he can.
Every night I look out my window where I lived before, there you'd be down in the playground. Then when I got the keys to this place, there you were again, standing beside the burnt car at the end of the street. I wanted to cry out, "What the fuck do you want?" But you looked so bloody scared, I didn't want to frighten you away. After all, I knew it had something to do with my son. Oops-a-daisy. Touched a nerve, have I? Without giving any spoilers, the play starts with Anita inviting her stalker of 18 weeks into her apartment that she has only just moved into. She's had to get out of her old place, where she's lived a very long time, in a hurry. Reasons you find out. So it's a very high adrenaline beginning, but we still have a lot further to go.
I'm Robert Chevara and I'm the director of Vincent River. It's a play that I love. I love Philip Ridley's work. I think it's work that's kind of lit by lightning. It's extraordinarily held and sensual and direct. And when I've read Vincent River, which is about grieving mothers, lost children, catharsis, I thought I had something to offer to that. And so Phil said, "Are you interested in it?" I read it overnight and I said yes straight away. And it usually takes me weeks to make my mind up about something. Within the 10 years it had last been done, hate crime against gay people especially has gone up by 78% in the last 5 years.
Did you kill him?
No.
There was more than one killer.
So?
A gang, apparently.
I wasn't one of them.
Know who they were?
What? No.
Have your suspicions?
No.
My son. You knew him?
No. When I first read this play, I read it in about 30 minutes. I read it so quickly. I raced through it. I couldn't believe how much the story gripped me. We've worked on the play for a very long time with a fantastic director, a great team. The writer's terrific. And I get the sense when I stand up at the end and I look around and there's wet eyes in the audience and people are visibly just moved. I get the sense that this play's really powerful, and I think that That feeling you get when you turn on a great TV series on Netflix and you can't stop watching it, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning, you've got work in the morning, but you still, you know, the play's an hour and 20 and it'll give you that feeling. It's visceral. I think when people come into the room, they're going to be there with these two characters fighting their battles with us, you know, and I think that's as good as reason as any to go and watch a piece of theatre.
I think Tom is a star in the making. I really do. This is his second job. And what Tom has is all the training of drama college combined with a rawness that is extraordinary to be on stage with. I feel incredibly safe on stage with him. Just morbid curiosity then, is it? Want a good gulp at the victim's mother?
It's not like that.
What then? Tell me, for fuck's sake.
It's such a different space to where we originally did it, that it lent itself different things, really. It became much more focused on the room itself and us as an audience feeling like we are part of this very uncomfortable room. And it's got quite a low ceiling, so we were very daring with the dynamics of how they spoke. I've taken some of it right back, then pulled it right out again. And the movements changed, because in a room that's so different, I wanted to find a language that moved the work on it since a year ago when I last did it, and also give the actors different things. What I don't ever really do is look for solutions that much. I look for questions rather than answers. So I throw things at them all the time. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? How does she react to that? How does she react to this? And then I find solutions within that, and I try and give them and myself enough room that it can go towards the extraordinary, then back again, then go towards something which is absolutely, you know, at its best. What I hope this time is it's unlike anything anyone's ever seen, which is a big ask for two people in a tiny room, but actually the play can carry it, and so can they. It's a vital, incredible piece of theatre. That's the first thing. And secondly, it's not agitprop. It's not about the state of our lives now, but it does reflect back to us an incredible spirit of the moment with our politics and what's happening to people on the streets in England, in Brexit England right now.
We were talking yesterday about what's happening in the Far East as well, with the various rules and people being stoned to death. I mean, it's where it's going to stop is really scary. I'm sure it's the case that because of internet we are far more aware, and it's also why we feel completely bombarded with bad news all the time, because actually if you really look at the state of the world, it's at one of its most peaceful, although you watch the news every day, it's not anything you would believe. But you know, the internet can also be a fantastic weapon in these circumstances. You know, I had a letter from an email from Amnesty this morning trying to release, some poor woman who made a casual remark criticising her government, and, you know, sign this and write to your MP, and, you know, hopefully we'll get her freed. So that without the internet that wouldn't be possible.
So it's press night tonight. How are you guys feeling?
I'm a bit nervous, if I'm honest. Press nights are weird because they're full of people who have probably seen it before, and loved ones who desperately want you to do well and are probably as nervous as you, and critics. But it's not your typical audience, is it?
They're all going to love you.
Well, we'll see. But the play is actually set in the West End, and we've had with very specific landmarks of the West End mentioned throughout the play, and we've had little smatterings of recognition from the audience. So we're getting a very eclectic audience, I think. You know, there are some tourists, there are some very sophisticated theatre goers. There have been mates in, obviously, for the previews, and good old East Enders. And Robert Chevara was in the loo yesterday, and he could hear, there were a couple of young East End boys who came in, and one said, well, what are we coming to see this thing for anyway? And the other one said, because we're going to see ourselves reflected on stage, innit? And you kind of want to cheer when you hear that. It's wonderful. A couple of 16-year-old lads, one that never been to the theatre before, and they loved it.
That's fantastic. And just to say, congratulations on your nomination.
Oh, thank you very much.
So exciting.
Thank you.
So, sir, what did you think of the play tonight?
I absolutely loved it. It was a complete shock. I didn't know what I was coming to see. So, writing was fantastic and performances extraordinary.
I lived it. It was so fantastic. I really loved it. So I saw it at the park before.
Okay.
This time it was even better.
I really loved the play tonight. It's a gripping play, and it's one of those pieces of drama that really sucks you in without realising. And I love all the gear changes in it. I thought the performances were fabulous. The last 20 minutes of the play is stunning. And actually the topics it addresses, I understand it was written years ago, but actually it could have been written now. It's really relevant for today and scarily relevant for today. But if you want a gripping drama with lots of twists, come and see Vincent River.
It was fantastic. I saw the other show at the park, and this one was even better, I think. You felt like you were actually in the room with them, and you could actually live for the whole show. It was fantastic.
And do you feel that in terms of the way things are evolving with Brexit and Trump, that, minorities are getting worse and worse now?
I mean, who can hear about Trump anymore? Who can hear about Brexit anymore? But the whole thing with minorities is a growing problem at the moment, and I think there should be much more than that around, and many more shows that address that issue, and especially homophobia is so present, and it's there all the time, and people should actually talk about it much more.
My favourite director, my favourite designer, my favourite producer, and my favourite writer, and my favourite actress. The boy I didn't know before, but he's wonderful too.
What a powerhouse.
It is a marvellous, marvellous, wonderful play. And I've seen it before. I've seen it several times before, but I've seen it in this state before when it was, at the park. And it is just the best. It's got everything. It's got drama, it's got comedy, it's got brilliant acting, beautiful set, and just great taste. And it's also riveting. I mean, you don't go to sleep ever. And I go to sleep a lot in plays. So, yes.
That's one.
Recommend it, highly recommend it, because it's real drama and it's beautifully done.
Well, what a roller coaster, isn't it? Yeah, fantastic performances, a really strong piece, obviously. The tension is all there, and
it's palpable, isn't it?
Oh, it really is in the room, and lovely pin drop moments, which are always my favourite bits in theatre. And I think that Louise really earns her primal scream at the end. It's just a perfectly pitched performance from both of them, I think.
Well, I was lucky enough to see it at Park Theatre, and I was approached by the writer and the director's agent, both of whom I've known. I've worked with the writer Philip Ridley before, and Robert and I have known each other for a very long time and never actually managed to do anything together. And I think they were collectively interested in doing more with it. And respectively, both their agents wrote to me and said, would I be interested in transferring it in? And it was the easiest yes of my career, because why on earth wouldn't I?
They're marvellous performers, and it's delicately, ferociously played, and I think anyone would be crazy to miss that.
All I can say is how moving it is, and how devastating it is, and how beautiful and poignant and feather-light and heavy-hitting. For me, it's everything that a play should be.
It's about 1 in 10 scripts land on the doorstep, and you start reading, you think, I'll read a bit tonight, and then you're still there an hour and a half later, and you've gone right through to the end, and it's got... The last time I felt like this about a script was Blanche in Tenko. When those scripts arrived, I just thought, this has got my name on it. And I said to Robert in my first interview, this is something I've been waiting for, the kind of role I really, really wanted to get into. This is a very strongly political play set in a domestic situation, and I've said this to you before, that I think the theatre is a safe place to debate extremely dangerous issues, and storytelling is a very healing way of doing it. I think it's an epic, dark, horrific subject addressed in the most poetic way. And you have a duty to your audience to have them leave slightly altered from the way they came in. And if it just stops one person hitting one other person, then we've done our job. Vincent River is running at Trafalgar Studios 2 from tonight. And we're running until June 22nd with matinees on Thursdays and Saturdays. Just morbid curiosity then, is it? Want a good gawp at the victim's mother?
It's not like that.
What then? Tell me, for fuck's sake.
It was me who found the body.